Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to this Facebook presentation on maximizing Facebook on a minimal time budget. That was one of the titles I've called it. I've called it a few different things. And basically this is kind of just some marketing tips and ideas and tricks that I've used over the past several years to market myself on Facebook and to do it in an authentic way. What's the matter here? Oh, I guess I have to use that button to click. So again, my name is Kendra Aris. I'm a makeup artist. I'm a leader with a direct selling company called Lime Life by Alcone, and I like to call myself a game changer. I hope after this presentation that the game for Facebook is changed for you. And like I said, feel free to add comments in there. I'm also a SCORE mentor. So I am a volunteer mentor with an organization called SCORE. It's a part of the Small Business Administration. And wherever you are in the country, if you have a small business and you need help or you're looking for ideas or mentorship, I would really recommend that you get a hold of your local SCORE chapter. Most communities have them. You can go to score.org and see where the nearest SCORE chapter in your area is. And that's something that I'm at a point in my career now that I get to work with business owners all over my community in all types of business and help them with things. I'm usually called in on marketing because I've got a lot of marketing experience with Facebook. It says I've got over 10 years of experience. A few of my memories posts are starting to come up where they were 12 years ago. So I can tell you those posts 12 years ago are much different than the posts that I have today. So I'm glad that things are coming along in my Facebook marketing. And I've been a business owner almost that entire time. So, marketing myself and my business is something that it's kind of always been intertwined. So why should you be on Facebook? Why would you want to use Facebook as a platform? I hear from people all the time that are telling me, I'm sick of Facebook. It's a bunch of drama. I just can't handle all of it. It takes too much of my time. It's such a time suck. Lots of reasons why Facebook can be such a buzzkill. But I want to give you some interesting facts about Facebook because you may find that your perspective and your perception of why you should use Facebook will change with these numbers. So the majority of Americans are now using Facebook and YouTube. Over 68% of Americans are using social, or over 70% of Americans are using social media, and over 68% are using Facebook. So most people are on Facebook, and even a little bit higher on Instagram. Let's see, I've got some noise coming in. If you could make sure you're muted, please do that. Thank you very much. All right, so it's good to know like where people are. This was the biggest information that really changed my mindset on what I was doing and what I was missing out by not using my Facebook profile as a way to market my business. So if you guys have probably heard of the 6 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon, right? So you know that what that means is that all people, it's a game that was played back in the 90s, I think, maybe later, but that all people are a friend of a friend of a friend away. So a degree of separation would be a friend away from everybody else in the world.
When I cut it down to the bear, how many people don't follow?
I had it where everybody was. All right. So let's see, where was I at here? Okay, so Facebook did some research, and this is really powerful research. So of the 2.3 billion users, I believe this was from 2016, these numbers are, so these numbers are a little higher now. Facebook's own research found that you are no more than 3.5 degrees of separation from all 2.3 billion users. And it really up to only 4.7 degrees of separation away. So what that means is when you talk about what your network could potentially look like and what the amount of people that you could reach with your Facebook profile, you are literally looking at a friend of a friend of a friend away from 2.3 billion users. So that number is really staggering because we need to understand that your limits are endless as far as who you can reach using Facebook marketing. And for the record, this all of this training is based on non-paid and non-sponsored posts. If you want to get into paid posts and sponsored posts and things like that, which a lot of companies do, this is not training for that. This is on gaining organic growth and based off of just using your Facebook profile as a way to get people to be interested in you. So there are over 2.38 billion monthly active users on Facebook. And of that, 1.56 billion people are logging into Facebook every day. I thought that was really, that's really huge. Every day they're logging into Facebook, over 1.5 billion people. 5 new Facebook profiles are created every single second. So that's telling you that people are still showing up. They are still looking at Facebook, and they are still they're looking at Facebook as a way to, they're starting using Facebook. People aren't going away. People spend an average of 20 minutes on Facebook and for every visit, and they spend an average of about an hour a day on Facebook. So here's a big one here. 1 in 5 page views in the United States occurs on Facebook. So that means 1 in 5, that's all of like Googled pages and pages all over the internet. 1 in 5 is a Facebook view. So people are spending a lot of time there. The audience, 30% of Facebook's audience is under the age of 25 to 34. And that's important to know because there's this perception that younger people are not on Facebook. They're there. 1.1 billion Facebook users speak English. So English is my first and only language. I'm trying to learn Spanish. It's not going well. But what it's important to know is that of all the people on Facebook, most of them even speak the language that you probably do, and 95% of Facebook visits are on a smartphone or tablet. So people are mobilely taking their Facebook pages, and they have them with them all the time, and they are there ready to consume whatever content that you may or may not have. It's just getting that content in front of them. So as far as business goes, here's a few facts about Facebook for Business. Facebook's got over 80 million small and medium-sized business pages, which tells you that Facebook is a great place to play if you are a small or medium-sized business. And I would assume most people that are watching this video are. 78% of American consumers have discovered a retail product to buy on Facebook. How many? I can raise my hand and say I have, even in the last couple of weeks, I recently found a truffle hot sauce that I just had to buy. I haven't got it yet, but I found that on Facebook. I never would have even searched for something like that otherwise. So I'm sure you can all come up with something, and feel free to put it in the chat if you've had something interesting recently that you would like to share that you found on Facebook that you never would have bought. I know a lot of my friends are buying these sticky bras, and I'm completely intrigued about that. Facebook is the top platform for both B2B, which is business to business, and B2C, which is business to consumer businesses. So both types of businesses are playing on Facebook, and it works. And no other advertising platform has the potential that Facebook has to reach people for the cost. So the access to all of these people is there, but how do you reach them? How do you get the content to them in a way that they want to consume it and that they're interested in what you have to say? That is the bigger problem, right? So you've got to understand the game that you're in. You probably recognize this picture. It looks familiar to you. We're in the middle of summer. Even though baseball season is over, this is a little guy with his ball and his bat and his tee playing a game of t-ball. And a lot of times we are those business owners with our ball and our bat and our little tee, and we go into a Major League Baseball stadium and we try to play the game. And what happens is we just don't know what we're doing. And that can be a real what happens is people say, well, I tried marketing on Facebook and it just doesn't work. I don't understand it. So it's important that you understand the game that you're in. So I'm going to use baseball as a fun way to make this presentation a little bit more interesting. Part of the interesting part is I don't really know much about baseball at all, but so if there are pictures on here of baseball teams that are your favorite or maybe your least favorite, no, I have no idea what I picked. Not a clue. So let's talk about the rules of the game with Facebook. You've got to know the rules before you're able to play the game. Facebook is a discovery and trust platform. It is not a sales platform. And this is important for you to understand because you may say, then How am I supposed to do business on Facebook? And I'm telling you, Facebook is going to be a part of the conversation. It's like a part of the, like when you make a deal, there's a contract and there's a handshake and there's conversations, and this is part of the deal. It's not the deal. This is the place that you get to play to help people discover who you are and learn to trust you. The sales come very easily if you can do those two things first. So if you work on discovery and trust, the sales will come. If you work on sales in a Facebook marketing platform, you will get nothing. So that's important to know. Facebook is a place to provide added value as a business owner. So when you own a business, Facebook is not the place to sell more of your business. It is the place to showcase what you know and to provide more value to your customers. It's a place to give your customers an experience. And my cat is wanting in on this. And it's a place to build FOMO. FOMO is the fear of missing out. When you can give your customers the experience that if they don't buy this truffle hot sauce, if they don't buy this sticky bra, they are missing out. And that is a really important thing to keep in your head as you're building your Facebook strategy. The best Facebook business pages are an extension of your personal and or your business brand. Many of our business brands are going to overlap our personal brands. Okay, say hello, Kitty. It's my big cat who apparently just can't wait to get up here. It's going to holler. So it's an extension of your personal and or your business brand. Like I said, some of that's going to intertwine, especially if you're a small business owner, if you're a one-man shop, if you're, a solopreneur, you are most likely going to have your personal brand, who you are, is going to intertwine very greatly with your Facebook profile. And I like to think of the algorithm as your umpire. So let's talk a little bit about the algorithm, the umpire, the thing that everybody wants to cheat and beat, right? But we all know you can't cheat and beat the umpire in baseball. You're going to get thrown out of the game, right? And Facebook jail is a real thing. So instead of thinking about the Facebook algorithm as your enemy, we need to think of it as your friend. Basically, here's the thing. You signed up to have a Facebook profile and or a business page, and you filled in all of your information, and at the bottom you checked a little box of terms and conditions. Do you remember when you did that? And when you did that, you agreed to play by the rules. And what is often happening in the Facebook atmosphere is that people are not playing by the rules. They are playing by their own rules, and they're not winning. So the algorithm is basically a set of rules that keeps you accountable to what you said you were going to do when you clicked that little box of terms and conditions. You said that you were going to create a personal profile where you were going to share things that mattered to you, that you were going to make connections and have personal relationships. And when you built your business page, you said that's where you would put your business stuff. The algorithm is simply keeping you in check that you are going to do what you said you were going to do. And that when you approach your Facebook strategy as a place to be authentic and to create real engagement, then you don't have to worry about this umpire. You don't have to worry about the algorithm. In fact, it won't ever really matter to you. The Facebook algorithm makes sure that you have the experience with Facebook that you asked for. So as a user, I want you to think about your users here, all your customers and yourself. When you're interacting and engaging with content on social media, on Facebook, you are telling the algorithm what you want to see. So if all you ever interact with is political posts, you're going to see more political posts. If you only interact with things that are hilarious, you're going to see more things that are hilarious. If you interact with a specific brand, you're going to see more of that. Does that make sense? So by your interactions and by the things that you do on Facebook, who you talk to, the things that you like, you're going to see more of those things. So if you want to see more of your customers, you have to make that experience happen for yourself. Facebook is a business, and I think that's an important thing to remember. Just like you and I have a business, this is a pay-to-play or play for engagement environment. So what that means is that we have to understand that Facebook isn't here to give us a free place to just do whatever we want to do. Facebook is a place that they're here to generate money as well. So if you can't or don't want to pay for your social media to be boosted or to have sponsored posts or those things, then you have to have the right content in order to create engagement. And it's completely possible. One of the things I like to remind people with the algorithm is that it recognizes copied and repeated content. One of the things that people do quite a lot in their Facebook is they will copy content from other people, and it doesn't matter if it's a photo or if it's text. And I would say every Facebook algorithm change is basically the algorithm just getting smarter. So know that anytime you copy and paste something, whether it's a small thing, it knows where it originated from. So instead of beating the algorithm, change your mindset. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do today, and teach you a few things on how to play the game that you've signed up to play and create a brand that's worth engaging with by your target audience. So basically create a space that people can't wait to play in. Create that environment that they're like, oh, what did Kendra post today? Surely she posted something that's useful for me to go check out. Assuming your name's Kendra. Insert your name here. Okay, so if you're going to play baseball, you're going to have fans. You're probably going to have crazy fans. And hopefully you have a lot of fans. But your customers are your fans. The people that interact and engage with your content are your fans. And when you create your brand, you build your fan base. So as you're creating your brand voice, this is going to build a fan base of people that like what you have to say. So a brand is a consistent personality for you and or your business. And I'm going to tell you the easiest way to find your brand personality is to look in the mirror. And bring the things out in yourself that you and your business that you want people to know. You are your personal brand, and as a business owner, you're an extension of your business brand. So I guess it's just a way to say that your brand is a combination of the things that you believe in and the things that others believe about you. And I have a really cool exercise that we're going to do here. And hopefully if we've still got some people participating here, we can get you to participate in the comments, because this is really fun. So a quick way to start your brand development. If you're sitting in a place where you're like, Kendra, I have no idea even where to begin to create a personal brand. I get it. I'm with you. I've been there too. Guess what? None of us were, when we were born, we weren't given a rattle and a brand. So we have to do a little bit of development, and really it's not developing a brand or a strategy. It's really bringing it out in you and what you already are. So it takes 3 seconds for someone to form a long-lasting impression of you. And that includes online. If you've noticed, when you've got your phone in your hand, and you will, let's open up my Facebook here. Oh, there's an advertisement right away. Okay, so when you're going through and you're scrolling on your Facebook and you're seeing different things, you're going to see within a few seconds if you're going to keep scrolling or if something's going to stop and get your attention. People make a long-lasting impression on just that 3 seconds. So what I would like you to do, and I'm going to try to pause. I have a hard time with silence when I'm doing these things. If you would, think about 3 words or phrases that you would use to describe yourself to a stranger. So if you just met somebody and you walked into a room and you are going to describe yourself to a stranger, write down on a piece of paper or think to yourself 3 words or short phrases that you would use to describe yourself to a stranger. And we'll cue the Jeopardy music here. I'll be quiet, kind of, while you do that. Then, whoops, that's not what I wanted. The next thing is I want you to write down 3 words or phrases that someone would use to describe you after they just met you. So somebody that doesn't know you very well, maybe you met them at a networking meeting, maybe you were introduced at dinner, maybe somebody, think of 3 words and or short phrases that somebody that just met you probably on a good day. Like, it's not your worst day. You're having a decent hair day. You are, your outfit has you feeling pretty confident and empowered. You had a great cup of coffee that morning, and you walk into a room and somebody's only spent maybe 10 minutes with you. What are 3 words or phrases that they would use to describe you after just meeting you? And this can be hard if you can't come up with 3, 1 or 2 is fine, or maybe 5. And this is the last part of this. Write down 3 words or phrases that you wish people would use to describe you. And by these people, I mean any people, your family, your friends, your network, your customers, your people that you've just met on the street, people that know you online, people that know you in real life. Write down 3 words or phrases that, like, in your heart, you're like, man, I wish that this is where I was. And then what I'll ask you, and I'm sorry if you didn't have enough time, if you're watching the replay, you can certainly pause and go through all of these things. I guess that's the beauty of that. I want to ask, do they align? Do you have the same 3 words for each of those bullet points? And if you wouldn't mind, put in the comments for me if they aligned for you, if they were close, or if they were super far apart. Like, I'd love to know how that turned out for you. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes or a couple seconds here to. They were very, very close. That's excellent. Very good. Holly. Christy says hers were very close. Holly said fairly close. Close but no cigar, says Carrie. Not too close, says Kimberly. So this is great, because what I think is close on most, says Karen. First 2 are close. The 3rd was off a little. Not close at all. Not close. Okay. And I think it's interesting. We have 2 Robins in here at one time. You don't see 2 Robins in the same room very often, do you? I think people's names are fascinating. So this is really good to see, because first of all, you're seeing that people are at all different levels, and they're at different places in their own brand development. Ideally, what you want to have happen is that those 3 words and phrases are all of the same. So when they're off, it helps you to know what you need to work on. And when you go down to that wish part, that's when you start to think, how can I get all of this to come together and be that person that I really wish people thought I was? So my 3 phrases are beauty artist, aligned leader, and game changer. And I introduced myself to you with those 3 phrases today. And I introduced myself that way on my website and on my social media. And when I'm posting on my social media, everything goes through one of those filters. And if it doesn't align with who I am and who I want people to know I am and who I really want to be in this world and the legacy that I want to leave, then it doesn't go. So that was, when I first started doing this work, it felt like a punch in the gut. So if it feels like a punch in the gut to you, don't feel bad. Know that it gives you a place to start, though. So when you think about what's different with these words, that will help you to kind of start to piece it together. So on that note, we'll talk about the next phase of baseball and of social media, and that is in keeping score. So is there score? There is score. So everybody talks about their likes and their comments and their engagement and their shares, and what does it all matter, and does it matter? Well, the score doesn't matter as much as that we think it does. But here's what matters more. When you can create content that gets a like, that's good. When you can create content that gets comments, that's really great. But when you can create content that gets shared, that's the gold. And this is what we need to remember when we're creating content. Can we create content? Can we create a piece of the internet that people say, I like that so much, that made me laugh so much, that shocked me so much, that I want to share it with everybody that I know? The key to a good Facebook post is creating content that people naturally want to engage with. And that's the other thing, not the drop a 1 for this and drop a 2 for that and a hashtag replay. That's not creating engagement that people are naturally doing. People don't naturally drop 1s, but they naturally say, wow, that was a great tip. Or they naturally say, I can't wait to share this with somebody else. And I always like to talk about patience, because getting the numbers to go your way and getting your brand to align and make it in a way that people want to share your content takes time. It really is, unfortunately, there's no real like math equation for it. You kind of got to this is the one time in marketing, you kind of have to throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. You got to see what resonates with your audience. So let's talk about falling out. What sucks? What doesn't work? Traditional marketing techniques don't work for Facebook. Traditional marketing techniques, things like newspaper advertising, television, radio, or different other paid advertisings in magazines and things like that, they just don't work on Facebook because those are sales platforms. This is a trust platform, remember? So when you're trying to apply traditional marketing techniques to Facebook posts, you will almost fall out every time. If you post without engaging back with people, or you're not engaging with other people that you want to engage with you, you will fall out. So if somebody does comment on your post, you better comment on their comments. And it can be harder, like the more popular you get, and when you have lots of comments to reply to, but showing people that you care that they showed up to make a comment is important. Ghosting, so making a promise you can't keep, or posting something and then never following up, or saying you're going to do something tomorrow and not doing it, that will always follow you out. Polarizing content, this is something I talk about all the time. Guys, the 2020 elections are coming, and people are going to unfollow you. Maybe not you, but here's what's important to remember. So I like to think about the elections when I talk about polarizing content. Basically, content that makes people pick a side. You could talk about politics, you could talk about vaccinations, you could talk about religion. At one time it was Pokemon Go. If you remember, that was a big polarizing subject that nobody wanted to talk about because it made people pick a side and it was terrible. Well, I want you to think back to the 2016 elections and remember when everybody was throwing all kinds of hate about Trump, whether they loved him or hated him. People were fighting left and right, and we all just went and unfollowed people, right? You probably unfollowed people or knew that people unfollowed you based on things that you had posted. Well, here's the thing I want you to remember. You probably never went back and refollowed those people after the election was over. So when you post polarizing content that causes people to unfollow you, they're not ever going to remember to come back and refollow you just because that section of time is over. So it can have a really long-lasting impression. Imposter syndrome is something I like to talk about because I'm in direct sales. A lot of you that are watching this are in direct sales, but regardless, you have competition in your business, no matter what kind of business that you're in. And sometimes we compare ourselves to other people, or we try to be somebody that we're not. And I say this over and over again. If you can't live the life that you're selling, you can't try to sell it on Facebook. You've got to be authentic. You can't try to be somebody else. If you have content that is not getting engaged with, do you have a call to action to get people to engage with it? You think about if you're not getting the engagement you want, and you're following out that way, it's probably because you don't have a call to action that's making people want to engage with you. Boosting posts. This is something that small business owners do all the time because Facebook makes it so easy. You log into your Facebook account, your business page especially, and it says, would you like to boost this post? You can reach 15,000 people for just $20 if you boost this post. And you're like, okay. And then you go through the process and you think, wow, I'm a marketing genius now. I just marketed a Facebook post. And then crickets. Nobody ever calls. Nobody's visiting your website. Nobody's clicking. What's going on? The thing about boosting posts is this is when, if you don't know what you're doing, you've got to get the professionals involved because otherwise you're literally just throwing money out the window. If your profile is incomplete, you are fouling out. Go through your profile. Make sure that people can easily find your business website. They can easily find a way to contact you. They can easily figure out how to order from you or how to find you. If they can't do those things, they will go away and find somebody that they can easily find. So in your profile, in the settings, along the side of your business page or your personal profile, needs to have information about how they can get with your business. People are fouling out every day by talking too much. I don't think I need to say too much more about that, but if you have to click, if your fans, your consumers of your content have to click on read more, then they're probably not reading more. As you grow your social media presence, you can start talking more and people will click read more. But when you're getting started, you've got to get them engaged before that read more happens. And I think the biggest problem that people have is that they're measuring their own success based off of some kind of obscure number that they don't even understand. So, likes or views, or especially with live video, which is king right now, they will say, oh, only 4 people watched that live video. And they somehow base their success off of that. So I would encourage you to not fall out by measuring on obscure numbers like likes and live viewers, and start to measure your content based off of the real numbers that are there. And if you're using a Facebook business page, that's even easier to do. And spam, of course. Every copy and paste is spam. That's something I have a lot of people say, can I use your post? Can I, because we sell the same product, and I'm always all for that. You don't even have to ask me. Like, I don't care if you copy and paste the entire thing, to be honest with you. It doesn't hurt me because the content originated with me, and Facebook the algorithm is smart enough. It knows that. But if you don't change it, then you just hurt yourself. So let's talk about home run content. This is why you're here. How do you create home run content? All right. So creating home run content, easy for me to say, starts with sharing solutions to problems, identifying the problems that people have and giving them a solution for them. The solution can't always be making a purchase. Sometimes the solution is something they can find in their homes or their kitchens and just enhances the work that you do otherwise. Add value to a purchase or a potential purchase is what that was supposed to say, not purpose. So what I mean by that is, if you have a product that people buy over and over and over again, like I'm going to use this as an example, this Post-it note that has refillable Post-it notes. Maybe this is like super complicated on how to refill this little Post-it note thing. If I did a short video on how to refill your Post-it notes, people, like, assuming that these are a hot commodity, right? But that gives added value to something that I already purchased, and that makes me want to come back and learn more tips and tricks and ideas. The shorter those little tips and tricks and ideas are, the more often you're going to get people to come back and want to see more. Teach them something new. And it doesn't have to be something new that, like, sometimes we have to go back to the beginning. We often become experts in our own topics of discussion, right? And in our own business, sometimes we have to go back to basics and remember that not everybody knows everything that we know. Go back and teach something new to them or to your customers, or something that you've learned. Video is king. If you're not on video, you are missing out. You are missing out. Video creates curiosity. Video creates an opportunity to teach. It creates an opportunity to connect. It creates another, we experience things through our senses. And until there's smell-o-vision on, maybe there should not be, on Facebook, the video gives us the most amount of senses. We can feel things that we can, with our feelings, we can see, we can hear, we can have this experience with somebody on video, and it means a lot more than, and a live video means in person. You're talking to that person right now. Authenticity counts. You've just got to be who you are. You can't try to be somebody else, and you can't try to be something that you're not. This is something I had to learn the hard way, and people resonate with where you are. I often take it back to infancy. You have your little tiny baby, and this little baby, you bring the baby home from the hospital and you love and care for that baby, and it's so cute and adorable. And that tiny baby turns into a child and a teenager who you don't always like, right? Sometimes we go through phases that we don't always love, and our children do too. And but we've already fallen in love with them because we saw them in their infancy. We saw them when they were weak and helpless, and we know that we created that, right? So our business life is kind of the same. If you think you can just like show up on your Facebook business page or on your Facebook profile page and just be that like put together professional that you want to be so badly, and never show anybody the path that you used to get there, they won't believe you. You'll lose them. Facebook gives you an opportunity to let people see you grow, and they love the growth story. Talk to your target audience. If you don't know who your target audience is, then you're not talking to the right people. Your target audience is a very specific person, and you can get down to what that person looks like and what her daily life looks like if you want to. But I know that my target audience is women over the age of 40 who are frustrated with their skin. They're probably a mom. They're probably working a career. They're probably really busy, and they probably like to laugh. Like, I can go through a whole lot of other things. That's the person I'm talking to when I'm on my social media and when I'm on my videos and when I'm sharing things. Yes, it will hit other audiences, but I got to keep my target market in mind. We often want to be like, well, I want to sell to moms, and I want to sell to dads, and I want to sell to young people and older people, and you want your target audience to be so broad. But if you learn to start having conversations with the people that you know you can do business with, and a lot of times that person's looking you in the mirror, it's very similar to you, that will go a long way. Vulnerability rules. Any time that you can be honest, think about all the times you connected with somebody on social media because they told you about a hard time they were having, or they told you about a success they were having, or they told you about like something that was going on that you could relate to, and basically being relatable. It's important to remember this. You still get to choose the content that people are consuming. You get to choose what you share about yourself and your personal life. Vulnerability does not mean being an open book and making yourself uncomfortable, but it means actually sharing your own humanity with the people in your audience. That's what that means. Behind the scenes stuff is home run content. People love to see things behind the scenes. My office is usually a giant disaster, and I often share that with my audience because their offices are probably giant disasters as well. But that's just one thing. I'm a makeup artist as well, so a lot of behind the scenes when I'm doing photo shoots and stuff really resonate with people. They love to see what's going on. They don't want to just see that polished Instagram, Pinteresting perfect photo. Give people a reason to visit your page, to seek you out, and to interact with you. If all you're doing is sharing pictures of your product that you sell and how to buy it, constantly back and forth. Why is the bookshelf in the back? That is why the bookshelf in the back is covered with a blanket. Yes, you have to do whatever it takes, right? Give the people that give them a reason to seek you out. Like, maybe you're going to make them smile. Maybe you give the best eyeliner tips. Maybe you're the kind of person that shares the most amazing recipes that people can't wait to get their hands on. Maybe you're hilarious. Maybe you're involved in a group that just keeps people in. Oh, there goes my light. Super duper. Hold on. Sorry, I don't know how long that'll stay on, so that might be a rigmarole. I think we're getting close to done anyway, but you get it, right? And consistency is key, but do not confuse consistency with intensity. Let me say that again. Do not confuse consistency with intensity. Consistency just means showing up and doing your best. It doesn't mean showing up 4 times a day. It doesn't. You know, sometimes consistency for your business when you're first getting your Facebook going or when you're trying to figure things out means that you are posting weekly. Sometimes it means 3 times a week. Sometimes it means you post every day. Sometimes it means you're posting once a day. I think I'm just gonna not mess with that and leave it off for now. Sorry, I thought I had that good and charged. I guess not. I'm gonna see if I had. No, I don't. All right, I'm not gonna mess with it. That gets boring, right? All right. So winning content. Winning content is shareable, shareable content. So let's say you are selling this. If you are selling it and you're sharing tips on this, okay, on how to change this out. If you have a 10-minute video on how to switch out this Post-it note thing, and all you talk about is how much it is and where they can buy it and that they need to buy now, then they're probably not going to share that. But if you show them, and maybe you do it in some way that makes them smile or laugh, how to switch this out quickly and how to make your life easier, and then that will be more shareable. I hope that makes sense. That was probably a really crappy example. Anything that's funny, entertaining, or amusing, people love. They love to laugh. They need a reason to laugh. You guys, our world is complete and utter chaos, and there's a lot of really unfortunate and sad things happening in our world right now. And I think that is the best time to remind people that we can still laugh together as human beings. Sometimes we wonder, oh, should I even be posting anything right now, the state that the world is in? And my encouragement to you would be absolutely. You absolutely continue to share and give people a reason to smile every day. Content that is inspiring is always winning. Even just inspirational quotes. If you go onto my Facebook, you'll see that I post inspirational quotes that almost every day, actually every day, multiple times a day, because people want to be inspired. You're here because you want to be inspired to create a Facebook place that people want to go to. And that content is shareable. It's easy to do. Anytime you can save people money or offer free value. Okay, so the thing that I would advise you against is always creating content that talks about saving money. If you do that, you teach your customers that the only time they should buy from you is when there's a sale. So you teach your customers through Facebook and through lots of ways how to buy with you. And if you always have a sale going on, they will only buy from you when there's a sale. So be careful, and instead consider adding value by, when you buy something, you get like a quick video on how to use that something. I'm gonna log into this computer because it will light my face up a little bit better. Okay, advice, tips, tricks, and hacks. People love those kinds of things. Anything that helps them to like make life easier, save them time, save them energy. People love that. Things that are uniting, inclusive, and creates connection. So this is really, really important. This is the you can sit with us post. This is posts that help people know that they can be a part of your community, that they're invited to be with you, that they're invited to come and engage with you and interact with you and be a part of what you have going on. People need reminded of that. Again, it's not just the world we live in today. This has been going on for a long time. Bullying has always happened, and people do need to feel a part of a community. So when you can provide that, that is winning content. Amazing, beautiful, unbelievable, or unique content. I mean, this can go to beautiful photography or something that's just amazing. That's why the Instagram photos are so popular right now, because they are a beautiful photo of a human being, of a place, of something that's around, and people, they just engage with that, and it wins. Content that warns of danger can be winning content, but my caution to you is, so this would be like, this can be very polarizing. I often think of vaccinations when I think of this. Whatever your stance is on that, you could probably create a post that would be warning people. You've got to be careful. It's okay if that's like what you want to use your social media for. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying you can't use your social media for that, or to warn people. But when you warn people of things, you may create fear. So I'm not a fan of fear-based marketing. A lot of people use it though. So just be warned. The instant replay. So I like to talk about video. All video is good. People love video. One of my most engaging posts this past week was a short 12-second video of a snake, a very large snake that I found alongside the road when I was running. I wasn't quite sure that it was alive until I knew that it was alive. And people, I mean, my brand has nothing to do with snakes whatsoever, but people absolutely engaged with that video. People just love it. Video is superior. A picture says 1,000 words, but a video creates an experience. It gives you the feeling of what's going on. My advice to you is when you are starting with video, if you haven't yet, or if you're not getting engagement with your video, it's time to start over. So start small, little behind the scenes videos, 2-minute tips and tricks and ideas. These long drawn out videos that you see on social media that a lot of people do, you can't start that way. You got to build trust with the shorter stuff. Get the best quality you have with the tools that you have. You do not have to have a fancy setup to have great video. If you have great lighting and a smartphone, and it doesn't have to be great external lighting. It can be the sun. The sun is a great light, or an LED bulb. We've got great light bulbs right now that you can stick in front of you just so you're lit up and so people can really see what you have going on. They need to be able to see you. You know, I just proved that when my light went out over here because I didn't plan so well, but I had to turn something on because it's a lot more engaging when you can see my face. And live video is amazing. People love live video. They love to see what's going on. They love to be a part of what you have going on, and they can do that through live video. So let's play ball. Think about these things, write these things down, take this, after we're done here. What kind of content can you create that will teach people things? Write down a couple of ideas that you have that will teach people something that you already know. And you know what? It does not have to be directly related to your brand. It can be a side partner of your brand. Create the kind of content that, what kind of content can you create that will entertain? Can you entertain people? And if you know what, if you're incapable of entertaining and you have children that can entertain or a cat that can entertain, think about that. Wait, what kind of short content can you create that uses that to entertain people? My cat has an Instagram and people are entertained by it all the time. The cat that you saw a little while ago. What kind of content can you create to add value? Now, this is where your own products come into play. Like, how can you take the products that you're selling and add value by creating a post or a video or a how-to or some kind of a graphic that shows them how to use that product more efficiently or enjoy that product more? What kind of content can you create to connect people? This is where you start thinking about other brands or other Facebook pages that you can connect with that helps you build your audience. When you, like, you know, if I wanted to do a video about this Post-it note thing, and if I tagged 3M, who makes this Post-it note thing, or did at one time anyway, this is old, and tagged them in it, now 3M's entire audience has the potential to see what I have going on, and they may be curious because I created some kind of content about what they have going on. So you think about leveraging other brands, other Facebook pages and audiences in ways that you can tag and collaborate and connect with each other. Also think about how you can connect people. Constantly think about how you can connect people that could help each other. Because when you become a connector of people, those people want to connect you with people that they know, and that's how you build your network. And what kind of content can you create that's unique to you? It's just something that you can create that's not out there. It's hard to have a unique idea, but start thinking about those things. And I would encourage you today to write down 3 or 4 things in each of these bullet points here, and start developing some content or ideas that you can vet out later. So that is the end of this presentation. How did I do on time? Pretty good. I've gone way over. I I'm going to say, this is my information. You're welcome to get a hold of me. Check me out on Facebook. Please give my Facebook page a like. Like I said, I'm a makeup artist. I am an aligned leader and a game changer. And I hope my Facebook page brings that to you as well. You can email me questions, or you can send them to me on Facebook, or you can post them in the event. I mean, I don't really care. You can text. I think, Carrie, you've got my number. I think you can text me. If you don't, my number's everywhere. You can text me. Or you can ask them in the comments. If you have, I'm going to leave the comments open for just a few minutes here. If you do have questions, I want to say thank you guys so much for showing up for this for me. This is something I've wanted to put on YouTube for a long time. It's truly how I use social media to enhance my brand and to enhance what I have to sell and what I have to offer on social media. And I really do believe that social media can be an extension of who you are, it can be a way that you communicate, and it can be done in a way that is just, it's got to be authentic to you. It can't feel icky. It can't feel weird. It can't feel inauthentic. It's got to feel good to you. And I hope this gives you some inspiration on things that you can create for others. And that's really what you're doing. Creating an experience for other people. And then the ripple effect of that. I love that word, the ripple effect. It's really good. Thanks, Carrie. Thank you so much. Yeah, it'll be emailed out. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Oh, you guys just filling my cup. I'll go to bed you guys, I didn't do my makeup all day today, and I did it just for you guys in this video right before I came down here. So now I'm gonna go upstairs and wash my face. Maybe I'll make a video about washing my face. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm going to do that. So you watch my Facebook page, and there will be a video later about that. Always so loud, right? You're so welcome. Thank you, guys. I'm going to figure out if I can stop the video, stop the recording. I think I have to stop this. Oh, there you are. All right. I'm going to end this. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.